Okay, good afternoon, book lovers of the internet. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, make sure to subscribe because for every subscriber, I get a new subscriber and I also read a page from a book of my choice. And at the moment, my channel is kind of blowing up in terms of subscribers as well, so make sure to help me get a silver play button. In today's video, I am going to be reviewing the first short story in Roald Dahl's Madness, called Edward the Conqueror. Now, I know that in a previous video I mentioned that I'd probably start reading Jeffrey Archer's A Twist in the Tale in terms of anthologies and short stories. However, as a mood reader, I was, well, in the mood to read Roald Dahl today, and I'm going to be reviewing the first short story. So much like I did with First Person Singular by Haruki Murakami, I am going to be reviewing the 10 short stories in this anthology individually until I've basically completed the entire book. It has about 250 pages, I believe, something like that. And basically, Edward the Conqueror has about 30 pages. I rated it 3.5 out of 5 stars. So this will also be a relatively short video since there isn't much to say because it's only 30 pages, though there will be a couple of spoilers, so be aware of those if you want to read the story before watching the video. So first things first, I think that this is a very simple story with a brilliant open ending, and I didn't think that I would need Roald Dahl's writing so much, and I missed him a lot, especially since it's been quite some time now. Um, I, of course, do not condone the implication of animals getting hurt in writing, as well as, of course, in real life, and this short story in particular gave me a bit of a flashback regarding Apt Pupil by Stephen King. If you've read that novella, you will know what I am talking about, of course. Um, However, what happens in this story is not explicitly stated, and I will, of course, later let you know my thoughts about what I think happened, and of course, what is implied and what is perhaps even obvious to certain readers. So, what is interesting about this short story, and I think it will be about the entire collection, is that as the reader, I am the one who has to decide who is most insane. So there is a very small cast of characters. There's basically Edward, Louisa, and the cat, who is apparently some sort of reincarnation of Liszt, the musician, according to Louisa, of course. And I have to be the one to decide who is most insane. And in this case, I feel sorry for Louisa because, in thinking that the cat was a reincarnation of Liszt, she wasn't causing anybody any harm, and she wasn't doing anything wrong. And then Edward had to barge in. So then this is where the spoilers will come in. I think Edward basically killed the cat and shoved her into the bonfire. He makes very depressing remarks regarding what happened, and of course, Louisa is in complete shock about this, as any sane person would be. But at the same time, Edward mentioned that Louisa had been having these sorts of episodes for a long time, and he was worried about her own mental well being. So I'm really not sure who was the most crazy since we're not given more context about Louisa, though Edward does come across as the most aggressive one. We of course can't tell whether he did this in good faith or not, since we don't have enough context about what Louisa had been doing. We can't really blame Edward right off the bat immediately. But I don't really understand the title Edward the Conqueror. Perhaps it has something to do with the concept of reincarnation in the story, and he does eventually conquer the cat, though this is reserved for the final 2 pages. And I think that since Louisa wasn't causing anybody any harm, she didn't deserve to be treated in such a way by Edward. So, in the case of the story, I think that Edward is in the wrong, though without any context, I can't really tell. Um, all I can say is that I really enjoyed writing. With Roald Dahl, there really isn't um, going wrong, basically, and I really enjoyed the other collection of the Great Automatic Grammatizator and Other Stories, perhaps one of my favorite short story collections of all time, so I might be reading that again and reviewing it on the channel as well. But anyway, that is all I had to say about Edward the Conqueror, the first short story in the anthology called Madness by Roald Dahl. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to subscribe, like, comment, share, anything of the sort to to help the channel out. And I'll see you on the next one, hopefully very, very soon. Bye, guys.